All right. Ooh, Lord of mercies. Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's get that right, bro. So what's going on? All right, welcome to cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester. This is the wide, wonderful world of Rich Blye, coming to you live like I do every Monday. Sorry for the delay, folks. Had to get take care of a couple technical difficulties and get some things straight for the public. I knew that I had talking about what was going on with the septic cuts, but keeping in the theme with men's mental health Mondays, I received some more distressing news that I'm going to get into in a moment. But before I do that, as usual, I like to thank the Most High for the breath and the life that courses through my body and the blood that flows through my veins and the gift of life that has been eternal and has been everlasting. I thank him for his tender mercies and for the healing powers that he's bestowed upon me and what he's given me in friends and family all across the nation, all across the country, and in this universe. I thank him dearly in his wonderful name. Amen. Now, before I go any further, let me hit you with a couple of scriptures that I had to put out in the atmosphere before I traveled yonder to Chester, because we fight not just against flesh and blood, but principalities, spirits, and demons. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Let me go to my word in my Bible. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Hold on, for context, I'm going to skip over to Ecclesiastes 12:18. Hold on. Let me get this right.
Yeah.
Never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Psalms 94:16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, and who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Revelations 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. I don't think you guys know what I'm about to get into, but I'm about to get into this real quick. But before I do, we have this tasty beverage on this table here. So organic rocket pop, recover, sports hydration 180. This is a trademark product. And for advertising purposes, let me taste this, because I was told this tastes like a bomb pop, but it has zero fat. I don't see any sugar in it.
No.
And this contains organic coconut water.
Yep.
Hang on, let me shake this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me shake this up a little bit.
Shake it up.
Oh, that's tasty. That doesn't have any aftertaste.
No. Crazy, right? That's what
And listen, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I really don't do any sports drinks. Right. I don't do none of that stuff. Right. I don't do none of that stuff. I'm natural juices and water.
Right.
Yeah, plainly, but that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's zero sugar added, electrolytes, vitamins and oxidants, coconut water.
Coconut water, right?
15 calories per bottle.
Yeah.
Is this a local distributor?
Not local. So it's from the guy that brought us all the water, all the core waters. Atomic. What was the other one?
Give me his handle. Right. This thing's pretty good.
So I spoke to Rich. Rich is in charge of the Eastern market.
All right, this is pretty
Ray
good.
Phillips was having a conversation. Him and my son were talking to him and helping him and getting everything together. So like I said, man, I'm just looking to support those that want to show support. Right.
Yeah,
so
he
gave us a bunch of cases. So we said, all right, we'll put it up here. We'll talk about this. We'll show you what we can do. So go out there and ask for Recover, man. Try to get Recover. I like the Atomic, the bomb pops. Right. That's about the only one I really fool with. Other than that, You know, they have other flavors, right? Strawberry banana, watermelon and strawberry, you feel me? But I particularly like that one because it just took me back, right? And I like to taste things that take me back to a time when I wasn't so upset.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, like, you know that age where, you know, everything was like real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know, the candy was real. Right. The drinks were real. Yes, the snacks like I tell a lot of people, they like, oh, we got all these snacks. Man, look here. Stop. It was nothing like the mid 70s into the mid 90s with snacks. Y'all really didn't get the best of rap snacks. Y'all really did not get the best. Y'all got the commercialized, off the conveyor belt type of joint. Right. I'm talking about the bulls that was actually on Germantown Avenue in Philly that was in there all night baking them chips. Right. You could smell that joint all up and down Huntington Park, bro. Stop playing. Like see, this is what I keep trying to tell cats. Like, I'm from an era. You know what I mean? I wasn't a bad guy. I wasn't a thug. I wasn't no general. I wasn't none of that. You know what I mean? I just floated in between people that did shit. You know, and like I said, I never did a dirty deal with people. So, you know, in certain circles I was accepted, in certain circles I knew just not to, you know, partake. You know, my like I tell people, my street cred is basically I was a nerd first, and then I got tossed in the streets. When I got tossed in the streets, I was able to adapt. Right. And that's you know, that's my development. So, you know, for a lot of people, they're like, oh, you think you're so smart? I am. I ain't gonna lie about that. I am. But it's not on no braggadocious. It's just that I'm a self-study because I've been lied to too much. You know? And I need people to understand that. You know, you can only lie to me but so long and think that I'm gonna keep biting that poison apple. You can only lie to me but so long, and there are people that have died before me that have known the truth and left the truth behind for us.
Yes, they have.
Okay? There are people still living that I can connect with that know the history of our past and explain it to me in ways, and I'm not talking about your 40 drinking, your beer guzzling, conservative sitting on the couch. You know, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about some bona fide, true foundational Black Americans that put the buzz in my ear because they were there when the politics were born, before I was born. I'm talking about people up and down this East Coast that talk to me on a daily basis from different cities and say, hey, this connects to this connects to that. This is what's going on here. If you're watching what's happening in here, this is the track of this. So with that being said, the local track of the Hydra and the tail is Chester and Upper Darby. This is why I come to Chester, okay? Because in Upper Darby, that's where the dragon swings its tail. Right. Up here is where you have the many heads of the Hydra. Oh, somebody gonna be mad at me. I do not give a shit. I said I was coming in hot, didn't I say that, bro?
You said you was coming in hot.
Listen, I'm real fucking hot.
And I've always given you that.
I'm real hot.
Lane. Take it.
Hold on. Was that?
No. She talking about the drink. She talking about the drink.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, hey, Tamika Williams.
Yes, it was, Miss Tamika. He was definitely there. Yep. He was up front with us.
But I'm really hot, bro. And you know, if I start cussing, it's bad.
It's real bad.
Okay, I just don't. But right now, I think that the stupidity in our community just needs to really fucking stop. The debates really need to fucking stop. All of this shit of with this, who that, da. It's right there in front of your face. It's the same shit that we've been watching for over 35 years continuously for those who have still lived here. And I'm talking about continuously.
That's
okay, because hold on, bro. Listen, I'm 58, okay?
Right.
All right? So in my 20s, like everybody else in their 20s, you really didn't pay attention to it.
Right.
Okay? So there's no fault of the young bulls and everything that don't understand it. Absolutely. I don't blame them.
Right.
I don't blame them. Because if you're not brought up in it, you're not going to understand it.
No.
But then when you become a father,
right,
when you got a responsibility,
right,
and you got to make ends meet,
right,
and all the other type stuff, you start looking at that check because you're working.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shout out to those who's working in that hustle out there. Be careful.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't hate on the game, bro.
Right.
I don't hate on it at all. I understand that because I was one of those bulls growing up. Okay? Maybe not as hard. I ain't carrying no gun. I ain't shoot nobody. You know what I mean? I ain't do none of that. Right. But at the end of the day, I was still there. Right. I was still a participant. Right. You feel me? I done seen it. I done seen. I ain't going to get into that. Right. The part of the problem is that where we are now.
Where are we?
We're in a state of limbo. We're trying to make up our minds of whether or not we want to unite or if we want to succumb.
Now you think that's a situation that just started?
No, okay. It's been building.
That's where the 35 years comes.
It's been building for 7.
7 years?
Yes. It's been building for 7.
2018?
Yes.
Why 2018?
Because you have a hatred between Democrats and Republicans, between two central figures, Donald Trump and Barack Obama. And because of this central hate that has come from both sides, both conservative and liberal, this has created a deep divide, which has been exploited by our foreign enemies that have come through the gates, led by Joe Biden. There is no denying that we were invaded. There's no denying that we have illegals here. There's no denying that there are people that are not supposed to be in this fucking country. Okay? There's no getting past it. I don't care how you feel about it. I could care less. You can tell by how we got to drive around our cities now where we got to avoid accidents because they cannot read street signs. They do not understand the language. You cannot go to any other country in this world without knowing the language and drive on its roads. Okay? In Germany, if you want to drive on the Autobahn, you have to take a test, both written and verbal. Yeah.
So, for me, there were times when America, in its writing, said, "Send us your who." And just answer the question,
bro. On that epitaph,
right?
On that plate.
Who did they ask for? Though?
Hold on. They asked for it, but hold on. You still had to become a citizen,
right? Okay.
Hold on. Just because we asked for you doesn't mean you skipped the struggle, bro.
How did you become a citizen when you first got here?
For most people, or are we going to go into the history of slavery? Because I don't
want to go through the history of slavery.
Okay, because we can do that. We can do that first.
Everybody wasn't a slave,
right? Right. We can do that first.
We've already talked about that.
But let's talk about the census of 1900.
Okay.
In the census of 1900, when you had your second migration of people come through Galveston, Texas, not Ellis Island, they were all given Indian names.
Because
they needed to dilute the numbers of the actual indigenous Black Americans that were here.
Okay.
And to give them the bounty of the promise that was made as far as liberating their European peasants from poverty when they came to this land. These are facts.
Okay.
Galveston, Texas, 1900 census. Look it up.
Right.
Okay. All right.
All right.
They're doing it again.
Where?
Here, right now. Try Harvard University. Harvard University is offering free college tuition for African Americans.
They are?
Yep.
I ain't know that.
They sure are.
Shit, I'm about to sign up.
You ain't the right African.
Huh?
You heard what I said?
What do you mean I'm not the right African?
They don't want African Americans. They want African.
Huh?
You heard what I said?
I'm African.
Oh, then they want you.
Everybody is African.
No, we're not.
Why ain't you?
We are not from a geographical fixed point.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You're not from Upper Darby?
Not the demographic that they want. See, let me tell you how they hide numbers in our demographic that they've done for years, okay? They've done this for years. They hide our demographic, bro. This is why I bring this book. This is why I bring these books. Because people don't want to read. They don't want to read.
Well, what's the saying?
What's the same is in these books is that they talk about how they blurred the color lines and ghosted the history of a lot of people by sitting up here and hiding their names through the numbers through a census.
Right.
Okay? So when you hide the nature of a group of people and you ghost their history, you make the people from that nation, even though they exist, you make them irrelevant. That's what's happening right now in the foundational Black American community.
But they say if you want to hide something from a black person, where you put it?
They put it in the book. But hold on, bro. There's audio books. All you got to do is put your ear pods in and download the sucker and read and listen.
It's not gonna go with my vibe for the time.
I'm sorry, that's not your vibe.
Right.
It's not my problem that you want to remain stupid. That's not my problem.
Come on, tell them.
It's not my problem that you want to remain stupid. It's not my problem that you're lazy. It's not my problem that you don't want to promote the black history in your family. It's not my problem that you don't want to go out here and look at the positives of a black history because you already know the negatives. And we can hear about slavery all goddamn night. Excuse my French, I don't care. We can hear about it all night. Every time I turn around, we oppressed, we a victim, we a victim. No, you're from the time of freedom. Yes, we did. We survived Jim Crow. Yes, we survived segregation. Right. Yes, we survived sundown towns. Right. And guess what? These still motherfucking mechanisms still fucking exist.
Still exist.
They still exist.
So shouldn't we call those systems out?
Listen, those systems are called out.
Right.
But the thing about it is, we're not fighting the right way.
We're not. But we're divided.
We're not fighting the right way, bro.
But we're divided as well.
We're not fighting the right way. I can say this. If somebody has 1% of a solution,
right,
bring it to the table. If another person has 2% for the solution, bring it to the table. But everybody want to be but everybody want to be Bossolinis, bro.
I think
no, I know, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. Everybody want to be Bossolinis, especially Delaware County Council.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Everybody want to be Bossolinis. Everybody want to be everybody's boss. Everybody want to tell everybody how you gonna be free. Let me read to you about Delaware County Council and the chair, Monica Taylor.
Oh man, don't please.
Whatever. I don't give a damn about her, bro. You know that. I don't give a damn.
The following things are not.
Listen, I'll say this straight up. Look here. These are my opinions and my feelings, and they're based upon an environment that I shared with her very briefly in regards to my family history and Juneteenth. I don't like the taste that was in my mouth then. I don't like the taste that's in my mouth now. I don't like the taste of how this woman speaks. I don't like the fact that she had to come up talk to me during Martin Luther King's celebration in Upper Darby, like we cool and all of that, when you did everything in your power to destroy me. Everything in your power to destroy me, discredit me, made fun of me, ridiculed me, and you got the nerve to do this. Delaware County's all Democratic council is creating, hold on, listen to the words, folks, because you got to pay attention to context and get out of your feelings. Delaware County's all Democrat council is creating an all-volunteer human relations commission with the power to investigate and levy fines against local citizens over alleged acts of discrimination. Alleged. The ordinance includes a long list of characteristics. Hold on, they're going to judge your character that would put people in a protected class. The quote unquote, the actual or perceived race, ethnicity, color, religion, creed, national origin or citizenship status, ancestry, sex, including pregnancy, childbirth, and related medical conditions, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, genetic information. Hold on. Genetic information, marital status, familial status, GED rather than high school diploma. Really, you gonna? I'm gonna explain this shit because I keep trying to tell y'all really think that y'all got it good here. They about to fuck your whole life up. Physical or mental disability. I'm gonna get to that one too. Relationship or association with a disabled person. Hold on, Bryce, that's us. Source of income. Age, height, weight, veteran status, use of guide or support animals and or mechanical aids, or domestic or sexual violence victim status. This ordinance calls for the county to appoint between 7 and 13 volunteer commissioners, okay? So somebody's going to get sworn in, even though they're volunteers, because they put the commissioner part on it. You understand the conflicts of words, okay? Why are you going to call, if they're just volunteers, why do they need a title? Commissioners to a board. So that means there's a study and money, okay? That's how it works. To make determinations, investigate complaints, the power to hear and investigate complaints, the power to hear and investigate complaints, make determinations, and issue fines up to $500. Complaints could come from anyone in the county without any corroborating evidence.
Huh?
What? What's up, Chester? What's up, Chester? Y'all want to talk to me? I would love to hear y'all in the comments. Y'all, listen, y'all got a lot to say on any other given day. Let's finish off. The commission would be required to review, but not act on all complaints. You ready for me to break this shit down?
I would love for you to break it
Fucking communist bastards. Yo, bro, the more and more that I'm here, and the more that when the news comes out about how they enacted laws that stops you from being who you are, basically, this is a freedom of speech commission. If they don't like something that you say, they gonna sue you.
How?
Because, excuse me, Miss Taylor is the chair of the council, and what she says goes. However she says it goes. 5 people in Delaware County media tell y'all what to do. All of y'all. All of you. White, black, Asian,
So
Chinese,
get
whatever.
her up here so she can explain.
Explain what? They're going to say, well, this is just to protect all of the classes and say da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The same way that they just wrote a resolution down in Upper Darby Township. Dragon tail, bro. This was already drafted and spoke about a week ago.
Okay.
At the same time, Upper Darby Township, through the LGBTQ community, sponsored a resolution basically mirroring the same legislation that they're about to pass. So that way it becomes retroactive from a resolution directly to an ordinance without it being voted on. Come on, bro. Y'all don't know how laws work. Y'all simpletons. I don't even want to hear it, bro. I don't need to talk to nobody about how they do stuff, bro. Like, listen, this is aggravating.
It is.
I'm really aggravated.
I mean, to know that they can
do that.
Basically,
They can. Yes, they can.
The freedom, the one thing that you get in the Constitution, right? That doesn't take a whole lot of energy. You don't have to spend no money on your opinion. It's a freedom of speech, and I can't speak on things that aren't going right. I can't hold people accountable. I can't talk about what they're doing.
No, they can't. You can't use freedom of expression. See, you can have a conversation about the matter,
Right.
but if you have a opinion,
That's wrong.
yes, to them, somebody could be offended by your opinion. This is why. Listen, this is why in Great Britain that they've been overrun and its own citizens are thrown in jail. Okay. This is why their citizens are thrown in jail. Somebody that's a foundational British or Irish person or Spanish person are being thrown in jail in their own country for speaking up about how they're being treated, how they don't like what's happening. You got the boy, what's his name, Mariandi, running in New York talking about he gonna make misdemeanors disappear. Hold on. You got the mayor of Chicago, Illinois, talking about we gonna eliminate jail. Nobody need to go to jail. Nope. Hold on. Nobody needs to go to jail. He said nobody. Nobody needs to go to jail.
Why not?
Because he said so.
No, what does that do for the people? What do you mean?
What you mean? What you mean for the people, bro? When they say so, they ain't ask for your opinion. Did they ask for your opinion? No. You know why? Because you don't go to any meetings. You don't go to meetings. You don't go enforce. You don't enforce. You don't reinforce what you're supposed to do as citizens of Chester.
So are they just trying to heighten their base, though?
Heighten what base, bro? Their base is small.
Their base is small, right? I get that. But you're talking about no jail for nobody. Won't that enlighten people to want to vote that don't typically vote?
Well, okay, so guess what, right?
Right.
Just like the bull that killed 3 souls. Mm-hmm. Okay, he was also responsible for collapsing that bridge in 2019, the 6-ton bridge down in Tennessee.
Right.
Same bull.
Right.
Okay, so the bridge wasn't enough that you collapsed a national landmark that's been laying around America since forever. That's not enough. You got to then get another CDL because he got one from Washington and got one from California.
Right.
Okay. Where in America can you get black man, black woman? Where in America can you get 2 CDLs from 2 different states.
If you got different, if you steal an identity and stuff like that, you could do that. If that's what he was doing, I don't know. I don't.
So, you know that our black people were part of the American truckers, and they were the ones that shipped those Thermo Kings that a black man made that keeps the refrigeration going, that we were part of this cross-country trek, and that we helped the unions become a solid, solidarity and all this other type stuff.
It would be nothing without us.
It would be nothing. But yet and still, this man has over $2.6 million, 2.6 million signatures to a petition asking for people to give him leniency and diversionary justice by counseling.
Was it a mistake? Did he do it on purpose?
Bro, he swung a tractor trailer in the middle of an interstate, bro.
Right, he tried to do a U-turn. Right?
In the interstate.
Right, I saw that.
He Starsky and Hutch that joint, bro. He had the illegal joint up on it. You ain't supposed to have a knob up on the steering wheel, bro.
Right.
That was illegal.
Right.
It was nothing about that truck that was roadworthy. My father was an independent trucker, man. I get tired of these people talking about that, because guess what? When my dad wanted a job after fighting for this country, they told him no job and no beer. So he had to go on the road and be an independent trucker, bro. I know about crossing this country. I know about being in trucks, bro. I know about being at truck stops. People want to tell me, oh, you ain't been nowhere, bro. I've been everywhere. Y'all got to understand something. This new age of the internet and streaming and all that other bullshit that y'all hype up so much ain't nothing compared to the actual experience of touching the Rocky Mountains.
No, it's not. It's really not. Like literally touching them.
Yeah, like literally touching them.
Like getting out of your car and touching them. No, it's not. No.
Man, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. Don't try to sit up here and judge me by your life experience and what you didn't do and try to diminish what I have that was built in me. I'm sorry, I'm not one of these suckers that's going to turn around and please you in a way that makes you feel good about, well, we like your message, Rich, but why you got to say it like that? You know why I got to say it like this?
Because I want to.
I got to say it like this because when I come before you humbly and I give it to you lightly and I explain it, like, bro, listen, you don't know how many times I've come and I sat down and I told people, hey, listen, certain information has to be translated to our people a certain way.
Right.
Okay? You can't come at our people and say things how you would say it to people from your demographic.
Right.
Sometimes it has to be filtered. Because again,
coming from someone else.
You might come from someone else.
Right.
They may agree with the sentiment, but they ain't gonna agree with you because it's coming from you.
Right.
Because it's coming from you, and I understand that dynamic. There are people that won't receive me because how it comes from me, but there's a whole lot of other people that dig the fact that I come to them and say, "Yo, dig the move. This is this," and get off of it. Hold on, I get off of it. I don't stand there and preach to them. I say, "This is this," and I keep it moving. There's people that stop me on the street daily. Yo, OG, what's the news? Hey, this is this. And keep it moving. I don't force nobody to do nothing. It's up to you. I've already been in the lion's den. I've already been in the fiery furnace. I've already been there. These gatekeepers in Upper Darby blocked my speech for 2 whole years. And people sat back and watched, bro. And laughed. Thought it was funny. He up there talking all this black stuff, da-da-da-da-da-da. No, I wasn't talking black stuff. I was talking American stuff. I was talking this black American stuff like Crispus Attucks when he stood up. I was talking this black American stuff like Frederick Douglass when he stood up. I was talking about Sojourner Truth when she stood up. I had a whole conversation with people talking about Kamala Harris, the first black American woman to run for president. No. Y'all don't even know rap music. Reagan was the president, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm, 1972. Y'all don't know who Shirley Chisholm is? That's why I say, before you start talking and walking to me about what you think you know, you better come with some complete history and know it. It's not my fault that you don't know Black history, because for 7 years I've been giving it. It's not my fault that your schools did not advocate for it and you didn't go and advocate for it from your schools. It's not my fault that you didn't go buy a book from a Black bookstore and do some self-study and do some self-reading for your own edification so that way you could translate it into your family. It's not my fault that my mother and my father made me sit down at the seat of my great-grandparents and shut the fuck up and listen to their life of how they were sharecroppers. That's not my fault. So when I speak the way that I do, it comes from a place of my own environment. Ain't nobody got the right to sit up here and tell me, oh, you ain't gonna say this, you ain't gonna say that. I dare you to come stop me. Because I'm not getting off of this. Let's talk about your genetic information. Genetic.
What is that?
What is that? Why would they put anything regarding your genetic information to volunteer people to data collect and store? When right now, hold on a second, bro. Right now, in the state of Pennsylvania, there's a whole lawsuit. The PA Human Relations Commission is being sued along with Governor Shapiro. A petition was filed in the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania, alleging a state agency did not have the authority to enact regulations changing the definition of sex to include gender identity. The Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission in 2023, under the color of COVID, changed its regulations to include gender expression, gender identity, and affectional or sexual orientation in the definition of sex. Affectional. So you got to understand how when they put different words in different places, they didn't say that on top, but now it's affectional. They trying to put them Lamba dudes up in there, the ones that like kids. I'm trying to tell you, bro, what? Affectional or sexual orientation. What's affectional?
So I said this a long time ago, right? Get the pedos in there, right? It's how they love. It's who they choose to love.
Man, I wish they would choose to love a kid in my presence. I'm going to choose to love them too. I'm telling you, it's going to be, it's going to be the best thing he never felt.
Yeah, where do we go wrong?
We went wrong when we allowed people to bring feelings into facts and logic. Okay, that's where we went wrong. We went wrong where a lot of these parents decided that, oh, my kid, I didn't get the best in my life because I missed out on everything, so my kid gonna get everything. So now you allowed your kid to be everything and do everything and think that they're everything, and your child is only special to you. Your child ain't special to nobody else but you. My children are special to me. That's it. And people say, oh, I love your children, blah, blah, blah. Thanks. That's the way I raised them. Okay? Other than that, they know how they're supposed to conduct themselves out here on this planet the way that I taught them. Raise your children in the way that they should go so that way when they get older, they do not depart from it. And that's what's happened. We've had a departure from some common sense values and morals. We've allowed these feelings to sway facts above the opinions, and debates now turn into an attack. I feel attacked because you don't agree with me. I don't agree with you. You're not a potato. I don't agree with you. You're not a cat. I don't agree with you. You want me to agree and dismiss the fact that my mother gave birth to me. You want me to agree and dismiss the fact that I have a grandmother that gave birth to my mother. You want me to dismiss the fact that I have children born of women, to accept somebody who they believe that they are a woman. Now, I can't stop the way anybody thinks. I can't stop the way that you think. But you know what I can do? I can take my little flock over here, my flock of children, just like a mother goose and a mother hen. I can take my children and I can say, I don't want no part of that. But not this government, not this party. This party wants your children. This law, this ordinance that they're enacting, it isn't for the grown-ups. It's just the data collect from the grown-ups. This is so that way, when we are made to stop speaking and not talking freely as foundational Black Americans, this is for the generations after us, the Jamirs and the Dakeems, who are speaking with strength and vigor. You don't have to like their journalism, but I do. You know why? Because they're young and they're speaking. I like that. Because 5 years ago, I didn't have that. I didn't have no young people speaking. I didn't have no young people bringing no news. I didn't have no young people questioning. What's the name of the young group under Lena? The kids, the circle group, the circle kids?
Choices.
Choices. Oh, yeah. Shout out to them, too.
Right.
Shout out to them, too. See, I'm going to say this, right? People always talk about the wisdom of babes, right? People always talk about, children shouldn't get involved in matters, blah, blah, blah. When a child becomes aware of themselves and their identity and their environment, that is when the time they are supposed to speak. When Jesus became 12 years old, he spoke in the temple, didn't he? He preached in the temple, didn't he?
Everybody's not Jesus.
I know everybody in Jesus, but we're supposed to be Christ-like, right? Don't play with me.
I thought we were.
Don't play with me. Like don't hit me in the head, bro.
That's
like I said, I grew up. I listen. Not only did I grow up in the church, I was counseled in the church. I was in my youth choir. I was part of my vacation Bible school. I love it. Listen, I love it. I have no relish of my times growing up under the word of God. I have no relish about that, bro. But I'm not going to sit up here and play with your face when I say that the enemies are past the gate. They slamming us into a pen, bro. This ain't no gatekeeping stuff.
But we accept it.
If you break down the definitions of what they're waging against us, because why? You have more LGBTQ communities that are running for offices. You have more people of immigrant status that are running for offices. You have more people from other countries who are holding positions of power, like judge of elections, like ward leaders in our own communities. And they're hitting because they ain't got to talk to you because you don't know nothing about what's going on because you don't know go to no damn meetings. So they have these positions. And when you go up and you go to your judge of elections and they're like, hey, how you doing? You only see this person, what, once a year, twice a year, maybe? But they got all your information. I used to sit on election boards when I was in Philly. I know how it goes, bro. That information book is gold. Okay? That information book is gold. Anybody that is foundationally Black American should be competing for judge of election positions in their area ASAP. Write yourself in. Write yourself in. Find 10 people to write you in and take back these seats of power before it's too late. Because the people above you don't give a shit. At all. At all. They're trying to wage culture wars with us to try to further separate this line. They want to paint people who don't agree 100% with the liberal edge as Trump supporters. Trump supporters want to sit back and go, oh, you can't be a moderate because, of the president and this, that, and the third. And I'm sitting up here saying, I'm trying to live. I'm trying not to be persecuted in a town that I love. I'm not trying to be persecuted in a county that I'm in. I can't sit back any longer with the stuff that comes my way. And when I break it down to folks and I say, hey, all you got to do is pick up a book and go read it so it can break down this color line and show you that it's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about control. So let me recap. The Commonwealth Court has a petition filed so that way every school district is legally obligated to follow the regulations despite the executive orders by this current president to not redefine gender. I mean, like, you know, I can't fathom the point where I grew up and I knew about a gay society in Philly. Like I said, I had customers when I was making beer deliveries in South Philly. I had customers that were gay, lesbians, gay men. That stuff never bothered us. I understand that through time and, you know, everybody's quirkiness and weirdness about themselves and trying to establish an identity that, yeah, a lot of people got beat up. So did a lot of nerds. So did a lot of nerds. A lot of people got beat up. Skin color. A lot of people got beat up. Gender. A lot of people got beat up. Ethnicity. But people that were morally straight didn't care about none of that. We cared about your humanity. So now we got to get another list of rules from 13 people who aren't deputized, who have no legal power, no jurisdiction, that will data mine your information through Facebook or recordings or how would you do your podcast, or if you go and speak publicly and somebody can be offended and then just start hitting you with fines. What is this? Back to the Future 3? Make it make sense to me. Because it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense anymore that we have to subjugate ourselves to people telling us that, oh, I can't speak because somebody might get offended. Watch this. Well, fuck you. You're going to be offended. That's how it rolls. You cannot legislate feelings, stupid. And then again, watch this. It may not go through. It's going to fail. I'm going to say this. It's going to fail, right? That's not stopping them from data collecting. Gene, you are not fat, brother. Damn it, Gene. My man, shout out to my man, Gene McNally and his grandson, Jackson, first day of school. Shout out to all of the parents in their first day of schools today. I know that stuff was difficult. I was going to talk about SEPTA, but this is what gets me hot. Because I had a whole conversation with a brother, and I could tell that, you know what I mean, I ain't gonna put him out there on blast like that. But I want to say this. I really did enjoy this conversation I had with this brother on Facebook, and you know, it was about, you know, Kamala Harris. And like I said, I thought she was a fraud. All the way live. I still feel that way. Ain't nothing gonna change. I'm gonna say this also. If any party could put up somebody that wasn't towing the party line and towing the people line, maybe I would listen to you. But all I keep hearing on both sides is the same hate. Everybody's got a justification, but I keep hearing the same hate. And I can't get down with that. That's a disruption of my spirit. I can't get down with it. I agree with some of the things growing up that the Democrat Party has done that made common sense. I agree with some of the things that are going on right now with the Republican Party as far as certain policies. I disagree with a lot of things that the Republican Party has going on with their party, and I disagree with going on with the Democratic Party as well. See how well-rounded I am? I can agree and disagree at the same time. It doesn't stop me from being a human being. But you got these people thinking And I had a guy at a meeting. I'm talking to a young lady about this book, once again, about this book, trying to get her to understand that if you're going to wear the Kente colors, please understand what the colors mean and why you're wearing it. And she didn't want to take a look at the book. She didn't want to take a picture of the book. She didn't want to do nothing with the book. But then here comes this guy. He's an obvious liberal. Well, what about the orange? I said, what about the orange? Well, you know, the orange man. I said, dude, you know, do me a favor. Get the fuck away from me. And I'm really mean that. There's 9 branches of government. Let's start. You have your mayor, which is your executive. You have your council, which is your legislative, and you have your court of common pleas, or the magistrates here in Delaware County. That is your judicial. Let's move up to the state. State level, your governor, executive, your House of Representatives, and your Senate, your legislative, your Superior Court, judicial. We all know the federal level, right? That's real easy for everybody to remember. But the 9th person involved in this is you, Americans, voting Americans. And you take you out of the equation and you allow people that you've given a job to make decisions, and they don't make decisions based upon the best interest of everybody, because when you have a dictatorship like you do in Delaware County and Upper Darby Township and in Pennsylvania, you don't have a say. Yet I'm supposed to be chastised because of the fact that I don't want to think like you when I'm looking at the proof, when I'm looking at how they're sitting up here trying to strip away foundational Black American rights based upon gender laws? That you're going to give more rights for somebody's sexual preference over the fact that we have a historical inheritance in this land? That's because they have made you hate America. Young bucks, young gals, your hatred for America is why you lose your birthright like Esau. You lose your birthright like Esau. You give it up for a steak dinner, some porridge, some potatoes, little trinkets. You give it up so easy. You don't even fight for it. See, and here's the thing. This is the best time to fight, because guess what? You got to follow the guidelines now of everything federal. You got to follow everything federal, so you can't get past that. Now you need to concentrate on why you're paying so much in tax through the county. Now you need to find out why your municipalities and your boroughs and your cities want to tax you some more. You have the right to ask any question when it comes to taxpayer money. That's your money. How dare anybody say, oh, you talking about this, you talking about that? Get the fuck out of here. That's your money. This little elite superiority complex that these little local minions have, and I say they're local minions. Local minions. What are they going to do? You know what they're going to do? They're going to go get 6 big beef and burly guys and ooh, we going to scare you raw. I'd rather die in a battle of righteousness before I stand on a land of iniquity. Straight up. There's no way that I'm going to stand behind evildoers that are killing people that I love from any demographic all across this county. But I got to talk to my black people, folks. I got to talk to my foundational Black Americans, because I need to help y'all understand that it's your lives in jeopardy more than anybody else's. And it's not on the federal level. It's on a county level. It's in your city. It's in your state. And you have to pay attention to both. You have to pay attention to it all. You cannot be dismissive. If I do a recon, you tell me to go out and survey the land, like Joshua did for Moses. And Joshua, you go survey the land and tell me what you see. And Joshua goes out and he surveys the land. He comes back and he's like, Moses, I ain't see nothing. That's the disconnect that we have, folks. Some people have gone before you and told you what's over yonder. Some people have gone before you and told you, hey, don't go over that way. Some people have come before you and told you, don't align yourself with this type of thinking. Some people have come before you and said, this is what's going to happen if you don't stay on this course. And that's what's happening in America, is that we have forgotten who the hell we are. We've forgotten. For Black Americans, we have forgotten our names. We have forgotten our rank. We have forgotten our positions. Yet we want to be argumentative with one another when we living in the same row houses, on the same dirty blocks. How you going to get mad at me for speaking freely from a self-study? Because I used to be one of them YNs when I was younger, from 18 to 27. I was totally unconscious. You couldn't tell me shit. I got the scars to prove it. I got the holes in my body to prove it. I know about that life. Like I said, I wasn't no killer. I wasn't none of those. I wasn't none of those bulls, but I was wrapped up in stuff just like anybody else. And I'm not proud of it. And I changed. And because I changed, I had to enlighten myself because nobody was teaching me. And I'm just saying to you, I'm not teaching y'all either. I'm just showing y'all a direction to go. Follow your own heart. Follow your own destiny. Follow your own part. But don't be easily led by people that claim to love you, but they're going to sit up here and put an ordinance on you when it's already covered by the Constitution. When it's already covered by the Bill of Rights. When many of us have gay, trans, lesbian people in our families. Ain't nobody talking about it because it's nobody's business. It's not my business what another person does in the privacy of their home. I don't care. I'm not saying I don't care about them. I don't care. I don't sit up in my own place and be like, hey, I wonder what that gay couple's doing tonight. Who does that? That's sick. I don't care. Just like I know that LGBTQ communities ain't worried about what I'm doing. And if you are, you're sick. You're sick. We have to keep having these conversations about sexuality because we don't have healthy conversations about being human. You got to put, that's the best you put forward is your sexuality. That's the best of you as a human being. That's the best of you. That's what you have to offer first. Can I tell you, I don't want it. I don't want it. The best of me comes from the love of God in me to partake with you, to dine with you. The experiences that I have to connect with you, that's the best part of me. But no, we gotta start talking about private parts and Foundational Black Americans, get your shit together, okay? I don't know other way to say it. Because I'm talking to y'all right now. I'm talking to y'all right now. I don't care how you feel about it. You hear these words, you see what's going on in your streets, you see what's not happening, especially you foundational Black American men. You're not seeing it. If you're not seeing it, then you're oblivious to it. If you're not allowing yourself to envision what you can be, understand that they've already made laws against you. They've already put these strikes up. They've already put these barriers up. Don't give up. You can get around them. But don't be blind and don't let them twist you with the lies. They don't love you, brothers. They don't love you. I promise you they don't. If they do, I need somebody, anybody, to tell me in the past 4 years what mandate has been set for foundational Black American men besides prison reform. Besides prison reform. Besides talking about health. We have a lot of foundational Black men under the scourge of illegal child support. We have a lot of foundational Black men who are sitting and rotting in jail from this illegal child support. Child support is a fraud. You have people, particularly moms, because you're the highest percentage, selling your children into slavery. Yep, that's what child support is. You are selling your child into slavery. That's what child support is. There's no other way around to put it. I'm not going to color it up for you. I could care less. That's why that's why laws are being made right now to give fathers a little bit more power, a little bit more discretion, because you've lied so much to gain so little with the crumbs that they gave you. But guess what they did? They killed your sons and turned your daughters into hoes for a little bit of money. Now, excuse me, this does not apply to every person. I know that some people have been on child support and your children have come out all right and your situations have improved and all that. And I know that there are women and men who need child support in order to take care of their kids because there are deadbeat men. But for the highest percentage of y'all know exactly who the hell y'all are. Y'all know why I'm calling you the hell out, because y'all done went in there and listen to some broad that done gamed up the dude, gamed up the joint, and next thing you know, you got a brother up there in the rears, $2,000 before he can even get started to say, hey, you know what I mean? I'm taking care of business. I could care less. Because every day in this county, every day in these cities and these municipalities, we're sitting up here being taken advantage of. We're not growing. We're stagnant. We're flatline. Everybody's saying, everybody's looking for a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. That's Prince. Everybody's looking for a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. You don't know where to stand. I stand for me and mine. I stand for Chester. I stand for this. I stand for that. But we can't stand together. Tell me why. Is it my delivery? I ain't changing it. I'm not going to change it. And the reason why I'm not going to change this delivery is because of the simple fact is that the shit keeps happening and it keeps coming up. And every time I turn around and say that they're after your livelihood, every time I say they're after your children, every time I say that they're after everything that you built in a home, and when I say that they are after you and your freedom of speech, and I get, ha, 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 you don't know what you're talking about? And here you go. And here you go. This is straight out of DELCO Times, folks. I can't make this up. This is your government. Because I didn't vote for none of them jokers. I promise you that. I don't like them. They don't like me. She don't. Bro, let me tell you something. When I was doing Juneteenth, and I'm gonna call this all the way out because I know I'm gonna see this chick somewhere, and I just wanted to make sure that it's all the way out. When I was starting Juneteenth, and I had it up there at the Delaware County Veterans Memorial, they tried to circumnavigate and go to the Delaware County Veterans Memorial to try to take my program from the memorial and put it up in Rose Tree Park. I got told about, this is the true story of what happened, bro. This is how I got the Rose Tree Park. So they thought that the Delaware County Veterans Memorial were the ones that were putting the program on. They thought that they were the ones with the color regiment. They thought they were the ones that had brought the guy from Ohio to do the dance. They thought that the Veterans Memorial did that. No, that was me. So they wanted to take my intellectual property and just say, hey, we'll put it over here. How about that? I got wind of that. And I went and had a conversation about that. I said, how you going to take my program? I put this together. I put it together. I gave everybody copies. I put this together. I gave everybody contacts. How you going to take it? So they made a deal. And here was the deal. I would hold the ceremony for Juneteenth at the Delaware County Veterans Memorial. And then for the actual celebration, it would go up to the Rose Tree Park. That's how I got there. The artists that were booked for the first year were artists booked through me, not Delaware County Council. The Third Color Regiment was because of, they already had a relationship with them, but they made sure that I was present to be there to put context to it because I was part of that organization celebrating Juneteenth, where these men who do the reenactments respect me for speaking the way that I did about our nation's history from that point of view of enslaved black men standing up and going out and fighting and killing for freedom. But before all of that came about in the back rooms, and I know she gonna deny it, I don't care if you do. I don't care if you do, because I remember it word for word. This is around the time that my father died, bro. So I wasn't really in a good space. Like, I was really in a bad space when my dad died. But a show must go on. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to her about how, I would like this to go because it's my creativity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can you just put this together? Pretty much. Can you just put this together? I just need this, and this. Like, if I come to you, Bryce, and say, hey, I can do this, that, and the third, trust me, you ain't going to do nothing technical.
Right.
Okay? I'm not going to have you do my work. I think that that's the most ignorant thing for anybody to come and say, I want to be a part of something, blah, 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 and you're not prepared so that way you don't have to produce any work. You can sit back and see the product and say, okay, I like this, I like that, let's tweak this, let's do this, and let's go. That's where you're supposed to be as right now as the station manager, as the person producing or whatever. It should not be something where you have to pull something out of me to get it going. Feel me?
Absolutely.
So I'm not like that. I'm like that with everybody. I'm thorough because I know what it's like not to be on your P's and Q's. I know what it's like where, certain black people before me have gone before me and fucked up so bad that you make it bad for the rest of us. Ring the bell, bro. Ring it. Some of you have come before us and fucked it up so bad that the trust ain't there. And I had to learn that in DELCO. Because some of y'all, I ain't calling out nobody on names, but I'm saying some of y'all lied and schemed to a lot of these peoples around here, and they stopped trusting us because people was lying and scheming. That's why certain money revenues dried up with nonprofits, because people played around with it. When I ran my nonprofit, bro, I only asked for the things I needed. I never did a drive throughout the whole year. I never asked for money out the whole year. And like I told my brother, no, bro, we got to do it different. We got to do it different because people have fucked it up. And he was with that. And that's how we got our support. But again, How are we going to put this together, folks? Because here's the thing. In order to be a great leader, you also have to know how to follow. I don't have a problem in following a command. But you got to understand, if it ain't righteous and it ain't for the people, I'm not doing it. Don't count me in. If it's not a righteous cause and it's not for the people, I'm not doing it. Don't call my phone. Don't hit my jack. Don't messenger me. Don't do it. Because I'm just going to shut it down. And right now where I'm at is cmpradio.net, the Voice of Chester, and the American Legion, Post 214 in Upper Darby Township. That's where I'm at. And hold on, wait a minute, one more. Recovery without barriers. Recovery without barriers. Recovery without barriers. Okay? That's where I'm at right now. Those three entities. Because I'm tired of everybody's bullshit. Support is support. I want to say something too about these kids. Not one time when we talk about anything on Facebook are we ever, as men, directing any type of hate for anything a child receives. I can tell you right now, my kids will tell you, and anybody that knows me professionally, I'm the type of person where if a kid is hungry, I'm going to feed them. I don't care whose kid it is. I don't care who belongs to that child. If a child comes to me and I'm cooking at a barbecue somewhere and that child, and I know a hungry look when I see it, I'm going to tell that kid, come on over here and get something to eat. You get something to eat. You get something to eat. You get something to eat. So I don't knock anything with any kids. Shout out to my man Lamont Harris since 2007. Y'all got to see. I'm gonna tell y'all something, Chester. Me and Mont go back to K&A when he was my DJ. When we were entertaining the troops and the addicted up at Kinston and Allegheny and putting clothes on them. Shout out to my sister Venetia. We was out there. Lamont Harris was out there since 2007. Shout out to the Navy. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be very honest, Chester. Lamont may be different to some of you, but this boy has been true to the kids. That Lamoken Street Station has always held an event for those kids since that time. No matter if he came out of pocket or if I came with something or somebody else came with something, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sorry. Some people do need their flowers. Because y'all give a lot of flowers to a lot of flunkies. Y'all do. Some of y'all give some flowers to some flunkies that don't deserve it. Lamont may be different. He suffers from post-traumatic stress as a Navy veteran. Okay? So he's not going to job with a lot of you. You got to understand that. And guess what? He honest about it, bro.
He don't have no problem being honest about it.
Yeah, he honest about it.
I love him for it.
Yeah, he honest about it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people, oh, he weird. Da, da, da. Yeah, he is. So, you weird too.
Their own weirdness.
Yeah, you weird too.
Like, you can't accept someone else's weirdness?
Yeah, you weird too. Shit, I'm weird.
I'm weird.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. See,
and learning to appreciate my weirdness.
And learning to appreciate it, because that's part of your creativity, bro.
Right.
That's part of your creativity. That weirdness is not something to shy away from. That's your inner self saying, man, you forgot this piece, bro. This might work. You know what I mean? The most crazy and abstract things happen to come to fruition, you know, just by being that weird. Yeah, and the ad prior to that, absolutely. So I do give my props to where it's due. And I know a lot of people have put a lot of effort into these kids. But I'm going to shout out my brother Lamont Harris and hope you do donate to his back to school pajama jam that's going to come up on September, what's that, 14th? September 14th. I hope you do support that brother. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to. And this ain't no sympathy stuff. I'm just saying, support is support. Be there like swimwear, like he is, like he's been for everybody else. Be there like swimwear for him. He goes up to the Stormwater Commission, right? He wait a minute, he front lines with the flooding, right? Mm-hmm. That's a man in the community, right? How you shunning that? That's the thinking that has me thinking about community standards, bro. are you shunning the people that are in your neighborhood and showing love to people outside your neighborhood for whatever reason? Chester needs all the love from Chester, and it needs to stay in Chester, just like all the love in Philly stays in Philly, just like all the love in Upper Darby stays in Upper Darby. Because check it out. The only thing coming up to Chester from Upper Darby is Rich Blye. Name me one. Name me one.
I haven't really reached out. I know you from when you first came into
I get
the
it, bro.
radio station.
I get it, bro. I get it, bro.
Coming around talking about Juneteenth. I got behind you. I supported you.
I get it, bro.
I told you come back to the radio station.
Yes, sir.
Then life happened a little bit.
Life happened, of course.
And knocked you down to a point where you had to rediscover who you were, what you loved, what you wanted to talk about, right? But the door has always been open. And the
Absolutely.
door, this radio station is open to anyone who wants to come down here.
I keep telling them,
But
come on.
people want invitations. So here it is right now. I am inviting everyone that is in the mood for change, that wants to talk about money or finances or what we need to do better as a people, to come to CMP Radio to talk about what they view, how they see, and what they want to do. Man, this is an invitation to everyone. I can't do a personal one because I would have, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'm gonna write a personal invite and just put it in everybody's inbox and just say, come to CMP Radio. I don't care when, I don't care how. And come and share what you have with your community, bro. Because until we get to a point where we're sharing every day, giving every day, we'll continue to look at people like Chef Lamont as he's crazy. He's out there feeding people, taking time out of his day, right? Asking for donations, and it shouldn't be a problem, right? And I want to apologize to him because when he used to tell me to come out, I was still in here trying to find my situation, trying to do my situation.
And listen, and I'm gonna tell you like this, like P, you had to grow your product just like everybody else had to grow their product.
Right.
We all had to grow our products. I had to grow my Jace product education program. You had to grow the radio station. Lamont had to grow what he does over at the Laboca Street Station. So yeah, we were all satellites. Even with Make a Change Group with Corey Long. You know what I mean? Like shout out to Corey. You know what I mean? All of us had to solidify our 5-year plan, so to speak.
Yep.
And now that these 5-year plans are solidified, this is where, in my opinion, that the strongest of us are supposed to come to the table. The strongest of us. And I don't see that happening.
Well, it doesn't happen because while we were putting a 5-year plan, certain people came in and gave us blessings and told us not to go to those tables or not to communicate with the other people. I'm sitting here reading an article right now. I didn't know in 1919 Marcus Garvey was trying to get a Black Star Line ships to take people back to Africa, right? And J. Edgar Hoover opened an investigation into the steamship line, right? Now here we are getting rid of everyone that your country supposedly doesn't want.
Right.
Why would you stop that unless you had a plan for us?
Everything is always in our numbers. It's always in our numbers, whether it's the strength of our numbers or the diminishing of our numbers. It's always in the numbers, bro. And right now we're on the diminished side. Right now we're on the diminished side.
Yeah, I would definitely agree for somebody to send me back to Africa. Let me take all my stuff and let me go back to Africa. See y'all later. I'll build over there.
I would rather, I'm gonna say this. I would rather align myself with like-minded individuals, because there are many people out there who think like us, Bryce, and they in our shades. Like I said, I'm Mr. I ain't gonna lie, I'm Mr. International, bro. I love my international people. I love the flavor of them. I love my Greek. I love my Italian. I love my Jewish. I love my Vietnamese. I love my Chinese, along with my black folks. I love my African folks too. I don't limit myself to one demographic. And a lot of people don't know how to move in those circles, or they make fun of it on the, they're respectful on the surface, But then behind the scenes, they still had the same mindset where it's mockery. And I'm tired of being around people like that. I'm tired of being around people like that where you can act like you know on the surface and be respectful and mindful, blah, blah, blah. But underneath you, you don't care. I can't be that way. No, I cannot put myself in rooms next to people like that, bro, and I know how they are. And I've been a part of these conversations. People have to understand. I done sat down with a majority of the movers and shakers that are in power in DELCO. I've sat down with Jack Stallsmeyer, the district attorney. Yes, I have. I sat down with Jerry Saunders, the sheriff. Yes, I have. I've talked to mayors. I've talked to state senators. I've talked to state representatives. These folks know exactly who the hell I am, and I know exactly who the hell they are. I know what was said. I know what was promised, and I know that what wasn't delivered. I know what was stolen, too. Because I was part of that scam, unfortunately, with my nonprofit, with the mayor of Upper Darby, Ed Brown, stealing $40,000 out of his nonprofit and then taking it out of the general fund of people's tax money to replace it, to give it back to HUD. Well, along with Allison Dobbins, who used to be the co-CAO. We had to have 2 CAOs to run the township, bro. One couldn't do it. The CAO had to have a deputy. But they was out there swiping credit cards.
Ooh.
What? My township? They was out there swiping credit cards, bro. I was there. I was at the Target. I watched it get swiped. I watched the person swipe it. I was there. I ain't lying. Listen, I can say it. I was there. HUD money came through from a community block grant. It was given to Men of Action, Men of Faith, which was a nonprofit that was run by the current mayor, Ed Brown. That bull took that money, had this whole Christmas thing where, oh, you know what I mean, get 10 families, da-da-da-da-da. We're going to go Christmas shop. I'm give them a $200 food card, blah, blah, blah. These bulls actually accused me of theft. Yeah, bro. Had to actually question me about, did I have an extra gift card somewhere? I said, man, get the fuck out of here. At this time, I'm making 70 grand. I'm making 70 grand a year, bro. Like, come on. Like, you really gonna sit up here and ask me if I stole $100 gift card from Acme, bro?
Yeah.
Get the fuck. I don't even shop at Acme.
Neither do I. Shop right.
I'll catch an Acme sale, but we all know Acme is for certain peoples.
Right.
Okay?
Right, sir, boss.
Yeah, it's for certain people. Listen, ain't no harm in that, but we all know. Just like you go to the fresh grocer or ShopRite. We know it's for certain demographics. That's how the business is. That's capitalism. I don't know why people going to get upset, but I'm not going to steal a gift card, fam. Especially when I'm out here hustling for 10 families to get their kids something, and I don't know these families. I just had their names.
Right.
So worst come to worst, blah, blah, blah. They found out that, the money was spent improperly. They got paid the money back. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on. You know what I mean? That's theft, bro.
It is.
That's theft. But then you going to get mad at me because I'm mad at you. My nonprofit didn't steal. My nonprofit had integrity. My nonprofit never had to get audited. My nonprofit wasn't under any questions about finances because everything that I got from people, they saw the finished product. And the people that came and shared with me, that donated to me, so it's like, yeah, oh, you got the hamburgers, you got the hot dogs, you got the juices, you got the sodas, you got the tent, you got this, da, 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 da. I keep receipts, baby.
Please.
You're not going to question me on no money.
At all.
Because like I said, some of y'all fucked it up. And we had to start from scratch.
And that's okay to start from scratch.
Yeah, and listen, listen, it's a perfect formula.
Right.
It's a perfect formula because what happens is that people start to see your integrity, bro. And so for me, I would rather be measured by my integrity than any weighted goal. I'd rather people see me as a person that, hey, I'm a man of my word.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to play in your face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna mess around with your girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do no slimy stuff behind your back. I ain't gonna talk about you behind your back. I would rather you see the impact in my face while I talk to you.
Come on.
I want to see how you feel. I really do want to see how you feel. Especially if you got a problem with me, I would rather have a cup of coffee with you and sip this out and talk about what you got a problem with me with. 9 times out of 10, when we walk out of there, we're gonna find at least 8 things we have in common and that we should go and work on immediately.
Say that.
But let me give you something else. Everyone wants to skip the struggle, not knowing that that's where the character is built. Let me define that. Everyone wants to skip the struggle, not knowing that that's where the character is built. This phrase highlights the challenges and difficulties that are essential for personal growth, resilience, and development of inner strength. People who want to avoid struggles miss out on the valuable lessons learned through adversity, which are crucial for forging a strong and wise character needed to achieve and sustain success. Let me break this down for you. Building resilience. Overcoming obstacles teaches you to bounce back from setbacks, a skill vital for enduring future challenges. Developing strength. The process of pushing through hardships develops inner strength and determination that can't be found in comfort. Learning and wisdom. Setbacks and difficulties provide opportunities to learn important lessons or unlearn some of them. Gain wisdom and understand how to navigate life's complexities. Meaningful achievement. The journey through struggle gives achievements deeper meaning and significance as the effort and pain endured contribute to the story of your success. True identity. Changes shape your true self by revealing your values, forcing you to confront your limitations, and ultimately defining who you are. The danger of avoiding the struggle. Avoiding struggle means missing out on the training ground for life, leading to a lack of growth and a less robust character. That we call that simping. Surface level success. Success without foundational struggle might feel less earned and can be harder to sustain because the inner strength to maintain it hasn't been developed. Lack of story. In storytelling, struggle creates the depth and conflict that makes a character compelling and relatable. A life without it can feel less profound. So because we're products from the struggle, babe, we are compelling people that have come from an environment that have existed through pain and setbacks to have some type of surface success. This is a surface success, baby. You feel me? But you got longer range goals that are attached to dreams.
Absolutely.
And this is why we can't let nobody stomp on us no more. This is why we can't let nobody have these little passerby things and go, no. Yo, listen, do you have something you want to say? Come say it on the, there's an extra mic.
Right.
Come say it to me.
Right.
I don't bite.
Right.
I ain't gonna get mad. I don't carry no weapons. Here's my weapons.
Right.
Here's my weapons.
Right.
These are my weapons. I would love for people to come to this radio station, cmpradio.net, and let's start talking about how we can put DELCO back together, how we can start talking about the things that need to be done together. I'm on board. You know what I got going on right now, bro?
What?
I'm taking people's kids to school and making sure people, can go to work with the SEPTA strike. I mean, the SEPTA slowdown and everything like that. I'm about to be GPS to another kid to make sure that, his walk to and home from school is safe and stuff like that. Right. Just the little things that people have reached out to me for and said, hey, we're having a little bit of a difficulty here. Right. Can you spare some time, brother?
Sure.
I got some time.
Why don't we have time for our community anymore? We got time when it's time to pop them bottles. We got time when it's time to roll up that green. But why don't we have time for our community? And if we do have time, why do we always have to be paid?
Because you have to have compassion, bro. The people that do this from the muscle have compassion, bro. They see, people say, I got love for it. No. You can have love for anything, love or lust. But if you have no compassion for what you do, then you don't have empathy for another human being. You lack it. That's why I tell people, don't tell me you love me.
Show me.
I don't believe that. The love that I got from my people is empathy and compassion. They see my struggle. And like, they don't come and baby me for blah, blah, blah. They encourage me, bro. They tell me, Rich, I love you. I love your spirit. I love what you're doing. You know what I mean? I love what you're doing. And that inspires me. And then my inspiration has inspired others where I don't have to do all this talking. Like I said, shout out to these young black men talking, bro. Shout out to them talking, man. Like I'm not going to get off of that, bro. I understand, you know what I mean? It's a competitive field. People got different news views, but that's what we're supposed to have. I love that. Like that young man, listen, that young man Jameer, when the last time I was on the show and I gave him a little correction, he put that right in his clip. Okay, OG gave me a little bit, right. and went with it.
Right.
I saw Mr. Williams, you know, like I said, at the end of July and everything, and I made it a point to see this man, to meet him in person, and tell him, hey, I like what you're doing, brother. Keep going. You know what I mean? Be the news. Be the change. Be these things. Be the one. Because that's what we do need. We need these young, youthful role models that are coming up that these kids can inspire to so they can stop looking at, you know, the other side of life and thinking that that's all it is. And Chester's got a lot of superstars, baby, not just sports. Chester has a lot of artists. Chester has a lot of musicians. Chester has a lot of people that's involved with the BMX bikes, like these kids with the tricks with the bikes. Get them a field so they can, you know, do this shit out there, man. At least you know where they are. Get them off the street so they don't perform the tricks in the street. Get them someplace else. But those are not the common sense issues that we look at. We got to put the complexities, blah, 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 and then we got to charge money for it. And then everybody got to get paid. Everybody got to get paid. Everybody got to get paid. I'm sorry.
No,
I apologize.
I don't know why you apologize.
I apologize. I came in hot, baby. I came in hot.
What's wrong with coming in hot?
Because, like I said, man, closed mouth don't get fed.
Definitely
don't.
Right,
and right now, I just feel like my people ain't getting fed, man. No. Like, for real. I feel like, yo, listen, I'm gonna speak on this one too, right? I'm gonna speak on this too. Shout out to Geo Stockman. Mm-hmm. And if you don't come the hell on and get yourself back into that groove, bro, and don't let these people disappoint, because some of that comedy, you know, some people might need that shit, bro. You know, some people that need that. Shout out to Geo Stockman and Art Monster. Yo, get that comic book shit back up and stop playing. I done shared that joint all over the place. Y'all Jones, listen, y'all done had this joint all over the place, man. Stop playing.
I tell them all the time, bro. When people invade your creative control,
man,
then you understand who you are, right? So you can't let nobody get in the way of your creative. It happened to me. Man. I needed money. The radio station needed money.
I get that.
There was nobody there that was going to support me.
I get that.
There was nobody there giving me anything. So I had to go get a job. 4 years.
I get that.
4 years I worked. 4 years I was out there doing things I really didn't have a love for. Right? The night before my mom passed away, I told her, I said, man, I'm done. I can't continue to work this job anymore. I can't continue to work these jobs anymore because it's not really, like, it's not giving me what I want. So if I got to go into the radio station and struggle until I make it happen, then that's just what it is.
Right.
And I walked away. Right? I quit both jobs.
Right.
I'm not asking for no unemployment or nothing. I feel like I got to make it the way I know how to make it. Right. I had the money, and guess what? That didn't solve anything. It was still a bunch of problems on that side.
Right.
So once you have the money, you don't have the money, you still got the same problems. You're like, well, what I need the money for?
Right.
What did it solve? It didn't fix anything. It didn't help anybody.
I think that's the biggest part is that that creative control, especially with a radio station, especially a radio station as popular as this one, as many people, like I said, it just seemed funny to me. Once I got back on the air, a lot of people started popping up, baby.
Like I said, I want everyone to understand that you can have a podcast. You can come through here and talk about what you want to talk about. Right? I don't care what group you come from, what subgroup in the black diaspora you come from. You feel me? I want you to have a position at this table. I'm willing to slice this pie up 32 ways if we have to make sure everyone gets an equal slice.
Right.
You have an audience. There are other people that have audiences.
Correct.
Bring your audience. Let's talk about what we need to do to change, to help each other. Because if we don't have one place that we can go to and get our news or share our information or all that other stuff, that's what CMP was created for.
We have to get people past their fear, bro. Fear has been ingrained into our culture so badly.
Fear of what? Everything.
Everything, bro.
Yeah.
Just when I say it's so unnatural to me. To me, it's unnatural because, again, I grew up during the 60s and the 70s, late 60s, 70s, and I'm not saying we was the G.I. Joe tough guys, blah 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 blah, but I can't remember a life how I see these kids are this scary over shit that really shouldn't be. But I look at the parents, and I'm dead serious. Like, I look at the parents, and I'm not blaming all of you because a lot of you have some great common sense, but oh my God, some of y'all are goofballs. And I can only call it one way. Yo, Hillcrest School in Upper Darby, the line to drop the kids off. Can y'all please stop smoking weed in the car when you're dropping your kids off to school? Those kids that's going to Hillcrest Elementary in Upper Darby Township, you parents. Yo, bro, listen, there's a cloud of smoke. Yo, listen,
it's the kids getting out of the
car. I'm dead serious. I ain't lying. I'll call out the government. I call out the parents too. You know me. I'm equal opportunity. You Hillcrest School parents, please stop smoking weed in your cars with your babies in it because they catch a contact. And then they go into school and they chill and the teachers don't know what's wrong with them until about 11:30 when that weed wear off. And next thing you know, they acting dysfunctional. And that's what's happening. And you started at day one. Yes, you started at day one. The weed was in the air. The cloud of smokes was in the air. People saw it. Ain't nobody say nothing. Rich Blye, Upper Darby, is telling y'all at the Hillcrest School in Upper Darby, stop smoking weed when you drop your kids off to school. You nasty motherfuckers. That's nasty. Okay? Stop smoking weed around your kids. Stop blowing trees in your kids' face. Stop sitting up chiefing around your kids, okay? That's nasty. That's child abuse. That's child abuse. Your children do not have the brain stem capable of handling that type of substance, okay? You damage their brain cells when you do it. You do. You damage their brain cells. You damage their brain cells. It's scientifically proven. And guess what? It's all on camera when all the kids start acting dysfunctional all at the same time at the schools. It's all on camera, bro. Like, they doing a whole study. They doing a whole study. They doing a whole study. Everything's on camera. They got brand new cameras at this school, bro. The big high definition drones. So they watching everybody pull up to the school. They watching the smoke come out of whatever car. They getting a copy of the license plate because they got the flock camera up there. So they know who has what and who does what. And listen, it ain't going to be no more confidential informants. They don't need to do that. They already bouncing the Wi-Fi off of your body.
Yes.
They can positively identify you. You don't need to hide your face no more. They know who you are.
I just had that conversation talking about how Wi-Fi works. We were out this weekend. Shout out to Chester Upland School District, the city of Chester, TIPS, and the Kobe Dean Foundation. We were out at the book bag drive they did this weekend, and everybody was like, "Yo, you live?" Like, yeah. How you do that? Like, how you get Wi-Fi outside? Oh yeah, well we got this box. That's a modem. That's an extended Wi-Fi router. What?
Yep.
Oh. Like, yeah, give me that number. Like, yeah, it costs $5,000. Oh, no, I'm good. Why didn't you get the T-Mobile joint? T-Mobile ain't gonna allow you to bring it outside of your home and work with Wi-Fi. It don't work like that. Right, but when you buy one that really works like that has the ins and outs and everything already hooked up, everything that Verizon hook up in your house is in that box.
Yep. And all they're doing is bounce it all off.
That's it. So when you have too many people around it, it lags.
It lags, right?
Right. So you got to you got to make sure it's up high away from the people so it can do what it needs to do.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely dope this weekend, man. Then we went over to the Ave. We were out there for their block party situation.
Right.
And I put Brittany Hales, shout out to Be Indescribable. She was on I put her on the hot seat. I threw her in she said, you threw me in the deep end. Yeah, you're going to interview people. Because I know she has it in her.
Right.
Again. But she always, no. I said, sit right here. Wait right here.
I've been sharing her stuff, too.
Bro, yeah, I went and got somebody right for her. Sat her right down. Now she like, oh, you threw me in it. Yeah, but did you drown?
Right.
No, you didn't drown. And I'll actually, exactly, now you want to, I don't care if you just want to talk to the entrepreneurs. I've done that.
Right.
Right? I've done so many different things. I'm like, yo, this is not my lane.
Right.
I don't know where my lane is, but when I find it, maybe my lane is really being in charge of the direction of the ship.
Yeah,
and I've been on the ship talking about things. So
no, I mean, that, of course, that's what it is, and that's the part of building this product is so that it's not pushing you out of the spotlight,
right?
But it's like when you build a radio station, you are the central figure,
right?
Okay, everything. You know, you had to hit the bells and you had to hit the bells and blow the whistles and all that other type of stuff. But as you add the layers to it, you know what I mean? You now become more editorial. You know what I mean? You see the finer points and you can slide into spots and see what type of views reach which way with the flow and frequency of which shows actually match up on what days. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you started the races, because you have that vision. Like, I can't do that. I know I can come sit behind this mic. I can spit some stuff. But the rest of that stuff, Look here, man. You the producer, you run the shit.
Like so many people, man, listen, and it was dope to be out there, man. It was dope to see, man. We were working as a unit, man. My son was out there with me, you feel me? The first time, not the first time, he's always been around me, but yeah, it was just dope, man. Yeah. It was dope.
And listen, and we're gonna have some more dope stuff, really coming up. And like I said, I think people need to look at us alternatively. Not, don't define us by, how we have to come with a certain passion to get your attention.
Right.
Okay. Like, first of all, it's not fair that we have to do it, but unfortunately, we're powerful enough to understand that when we do have your attention, that we're speaking to you in love. We do love you, and we want to show it. It's just that you can't keep passing us by. Like the Far Side. Y'all can't keep passing us by, because it's going to come a time when you're going to pass us by and we ain't going to be there.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm being very serious. Definitely. You know what I mean? I'm being very serious. It's going to become a time, I'll get to you. I'll get to you. I'll get to you. By the time you get to us, we gone. We at the next level.
See you.
Or, hey, thanks for the times we had together. But, you know what I mean? It's got to be an amicable split. Like I said, I've given more than I've received, and I'm not complaining about that. I've given more than I've received. But I have a certain expectation that if I call upon you, I really don't, bro. I don't call on people for anything. Right. I don't. I figure it out. I make a way. Okay? I make a way. But if I call on you, and I've been in your corner from years,
you don't show up, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I'm not going to give you more than one time. I'm going to give you one opportunity. If I've spent money with you, if I've supported you, if I've been in your corner, if you called me, if you ever picked up your phone and asked to borrow anything, and I can't call you, and when I call you, you ain't got, it's a wrap. It's
Right.
a wrap.
I mean, and that's no disrespect. It's just that if I value you, I value what you're doing, I value your product, I value the impact that you have. If I value those things, it's because those are the things that I talk about that we need. So if I say, hey folks, we need this, da 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 da, we need that, da da da, then it's my job as an elder to go find those things that the people are asking for.
Tell them.
You know, like I tell a lot of people, if you come onto my page, and Bryce, you've seen it, you've seen the different names on my page.
Right.
All of them don't have no, African American names, bro.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. But I'll put something up there about Black history. They the first one on the page. The first ones on the page, absorbing the knowledge. And trust me, they fact check me. Listen, I expect people to fact check me. Please, if I'm wrong, please let me know I'm wrong so I don't look stupid.
Oh.
Okay, please let me know I'm wrong, I'm stupid. But trust me, if I put something on my page, I've fact checked it to a point where I say, hey, this is this. And the response that I get back from folks that are interested in my culture, I don't even get from my own people, bro.
Right.
But let me put some silly stuff up there when I'm doing the face swap, John. Let me put some silly stuff up there when I got people, you know what I mean, doing silly shit, blah, blah, blah. And it's, oh, hey, look at it, he being silly, blah, blah, blah. But when I'm serious, where you at?
Come on.
When I'm talking about community stuff, where you at? When I'm talking about how we being treated, where you at? When I'm talking about united, where you at? Don't question me, because I go to the meetings. Where are you? And I can say that with force. If you don't go to no meetings, how you going to tell me about a government? How you going to tell me about what the government do and you don't go to the meetings? You're not there. You're not on public record speaking about why the government is handling you wrong. Why? Because you really don't care. Oh, I go to my representative. Your representative may be lying to you. Maybe. I'm not saying they are, because, you got to make sure I ain't calling them the liars.
All right.
Because I see they get upset when you start talking as black men up here in Chester. They get real upset.
Because it's not common. They're not used to it.
You got to get used to that, bro.
When we first started the radio station, it wasn't something that was out there, right? There was a radio station here before. There were a few, right? But I think when we started wanting the community to come in and talk about what was wrong, what was happening, what we had too much of, what we didn't have enough of.
Right.
And I don't think people really thought that we were going to be able to attack whoever, whenever. Right,
well,
we had the morning meeting up here, and that thing went on that show was 2 years, every day, Monday through Friday, 2 hours, right? And it wasn't just me; it was Not for T, it was T Bear, it was DJ Darrell, it was so many other people, right? And I saw the beauty in it. That Kenneth Picasso Hunt, right? I saw the beauty in doing it and continue to do it, right? And things just didn't pan out the way they were supposed to, right? So, we had to stop doing that. But everybody is doing their own thing, right? From Not for Tea, she got Nerd's Family Kitchen. Right. Get up there, get a platter, get a plate, get some food, get some real cooking. I go there for my salmon, you feel me? Like, good, delicious. Geo Stockman came on to the radio station. Kenneth Picasso Hunt was here, right? These are all creators already, right? Just coming in to add some levity to what we're talking about, right? So, everybody in this community knows who can move mountains and who can talk and who can just get people to think better about themselves. And we all do it differently, right? Yeah. And we should respect that, right? And continue to move. So, no, man, I don't think anybody condones us talking to us in the way that we do, meaning uplifting each other, getting people to be okay, right? And actually holding people accountable.
I agree, but then it's still this little undercurrent when I go back and look to the comments, and like I said, I'm very observant, and again, a lot of folks from time to time, they talk to some of the same people I talk to. So I always tell folks, hey, whatever. The respect of foundational Black American men is on the rise this year, and it's going to keep rising. This is not to take the place of our foundational Black American women. We have our own place. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is we not stand in your way. We are not standing above you. We're not standing apart from you. But where we're at right now with it is that we have to be the face of our families. We have to be the voice of our families. We have to be the voice of our communities. You guys have held us down for so many years, and you've been the backbone. Yes, you have, and it's very greatly appreciated. But if you want to see your sons not die, if you want to see your sons successful, it's time for them to be put in spaces with around positive male role models, whether it be your husband, your boyfriend, your baby dad, your uncle, your grandfather. Hey, mentors out here, Corey Long, CMPRadio.net with Jean-Pierre, myself with the Jace. There's so many different avenues where we can teach our young Black men and women for free. I will absolutely volunteer 2 hours of my time per week to give knowledge to these kids and context from my self-study and from the laws that are in my possession when it comes to the Juneteenth holiday. Mm-hmm. And give them that sense of pride and give them a sense of context that it will inspire them to go out and read on their own. But you have to give us that opportunity. We're all fathers. We're all brothers. We're all uncles. We're all men. Parents, you can come to My American Legion. You can, ask me questions, see where I'm at with it, meet my family, see my children, see my grandchildren. They'll tell you, Pop is firm. He ain't, he's strict, but he's firm. I'm fair. I don't take no mess. If I'm talking, you're listening. If you're talking, I'm listening. I want to listen. I want to hear. I want to gain knowledge from you. But we got to stop playing around like, these politicians love us, bro. Mm-hmm. We got to stop playing around and stop empowering them to make laws above us. Okay? We are the spirit of this earth. And what we do on this planet, this is heaven on earth for us. We're not to be bound by no politician just because you spoke an oath and you get to sit in a seat for 4 years. You are not king. Don't talk about that orange man that you want to talk about in Washington. Why don't you talk about the ones that's sitting over here in the seats of media? This is CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester. I'm signing off from the wild, wonderful world of Rich Blye. Labor Day?
Labor Day.
That's next Monday, bro.
What you doing?
Man. I don't know.
I'll be here.
I'll see how it goes.
Right. I'll be here.
She said, wait. Cindy said, she said you were youngin'. She talking to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I'm like youngin'. No.
Cindy McDonald.
Yeah.
I appreciate the comment. Yeah. Brittany Hells, that's my cousin, right?
Okay.
Delia Johnson is my grandmother.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for the cussing. I was a little bit hot today. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I won't do that next week. I promise.
Yeah, you can't give me the throne without showing me what's underneath of it and how to sit in it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want anyone to vacate a throne without teaching the next predecessor how to hold it down, right? So please don't just give the throne away.
Oh no!
Please teach us and show us. You feel me? What made the throne so special to you? Right. So
our job is not to abdicate; it's to elevate.
Yes. CMPRadio.net, man. I want to thank Rich Blye, as always, for stopping through and doing his 1-2 step with the topics, man. Catch us tomorrow night. We're doing uncomfortable conversations, and we're going to talk about how to love on your children so you don't traumatize them for the next person they love on. CMPRadio.net, man.
We out.
We out.